How can you go into European competition and perform like that stems from the manager? Everybody needs to go from this from top to bottom. There are some decisions that they say won't be small satisfactions, but that will shake things up. In December 2019, Arsenal gave its faith to a 37-year-old man who had no prior experience as a head coach.
Okay, Mickey. Yeah, nice, man. Step here, mate. Okay. Okay. Okay.
It was a very difficult time. The era of the great, beloved Arsene Wenger was fading, and Arsenal, which had become a lost club in its memory, a club where a fascinating algorithm once flowed, became confused and turned into a mockery by its opponents. The stadium, which was once a fortress, became lifeless. The foundation was shaken by suspicion, and tension reigned under the North London sky.
The Frenchman was visibly moved by the display, with his old nemesis on hand to present him with a surprise gift. The two legends embraced and brought to a conclusion the greatest Premier League managerial rivalry of all time.
Arsenal who? They have done the
Something
double.
fantastic because it's never been done. Something did die that day.
Thierry Henry! What a goal! Would you believe it? They have done the double.
Arsenal became a club with history, but also lost its way, and the bright stadium fell silent. The instincts were obvious, but there was no firm belief behind them. Then, in time, a decision was made that changed Arsenal, a decision that was not very popular at the time, and that was controversial. A person who had never led a single game as a head coach, and whose training experience was limited to standing next to the coach, observing and learning, was called upon to lead Arsenal. Mikel Arteta's appointment, who prioritized ideas over experience, was announced.
Hi, congratulations on your appointment. Tell us what it means to you to be back at this club, how big a challenge it is for you.
I feel back home. I'm extremely happy and proud to have given the opportunity to be the manager of this football club. I've been preparing for a few years for this challenge to come. I know the expectations, I know the level, and I know the stature of this club and what it deserves. So I'm ready for that challenge. I can't wait to start working with the players and everybody here at the club. But I've got a good vibe. I'm sensing a good energy today since I walk in a London colony. So it's giving me even more energy and I feel so happy. I can't say any other thing.
Mikel Arteta is now approaching his 300th game at Arsenal. A new phenomenon has occurred. The pride of Arsenal, which was disappearing, has returned, and fans and players are proudly united. The man from San Sebastian became a bridge between the Arsenal history of yesterday and today. North London has become brighter, and Arteta and Arsenal's 6-year stay are striving to complete the one thing that remains. Everyone who was listed to coach Arsenal at the time was above Mikel Arteta, Mauricio Pochettino, Massimiliano Allegri, Carlo Ancelotti, Patrick Vieira, Freddie Ljungberg all led Mikel Arteta by far in training. But Arsenal chose Arteta. They didn't want someone who would fix temporary results, but someone who resembled the club's identity. When Arteta arrived at the Emirates, the Gunners were 10th in the Premier League. The players were talented, but bored, unhappy. The atmosphere in the stadium was one of gloom, not joy, and at a time when the club desperately needed an idea that would revive it, wake it from its sleep, Mikel Arteta arrived. Arteta's first press conference was not about tactics, or about purchases that would strengthen the club, Arteta spoke about Arsenal's values, about the club's greatness, about working together, about being in a place worthy of great dreams. He said that we should be bound together by a common goal, not just game points. Not much attention was paid then. The lineup he used in his first game on Boxing Day against Bournemouth seemed to be an attempt to pick up what he could find, rather than a planned one.
How did it feel walking back in here? How did it feel walking back in at the training ground at London Common?
Yeah, it was strange just living 4 or 5 years ago, obviously in a different role, in a different position, but it was always a dream for me. The day I left and I made the decision to leave this football club, I said to the people that I'm going outside, I'm going to learn, I'm going to get prepared, and hopefully one day I can come back here when I feel that I'm ready to make that step. I have so much respect for this football club that if I wouldn't feel that I'm ready and prepared for this, I wouldn't be sitting in this chair.
What's top of your list? What's your priority?
The first thing is a little bit to change the energy. I feel last week I was here with Manchester City and I was a little bit down after the game when I felt what was going on. So we have to try to engage everybody. I have to try convince the players what I want to do, how I want to do it. They have to start accepting a different process, a different way of thinking, and I want to get all the staff and everybody at the club with the same mindsets. You know, we have to build a culture that has to sustain the rest. If we don't have the right culture, the difficult moments, the tree is going to shake. So my job is to convince everybody this is how we're going to live. And if you are going to be part of this organization, it has to be in these terms and in this way. And after that, we can talk about other things. And obviously now we need immediate impact. We need to start winning games. We need to start to raise the level of confidence of the players. And finally, we need the fans.
Bukayo Saka was lined up at left back. The midfield was covered by players playing outside their natural positions. The defensive line was unstable. The substitutes were unreliable. 6 years forward, let's go back to that game. When Arsenal won their second Champions League group game against Olympiacos this month, Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, Emile Smith-Rowe, Ricardo Calafiori, Ethan Nwaneri, and others were on the bench. In his 6th year, Arteta was able to move Arsenal's transformation process, the depth of team building, to another stage. He made the substitutes a team that would be in the best 11 at other clubs. In that first best 11 team of Arteta's 6 years ago, and in the current Arteta team, the only bridge is Bukayo Saka.
Has been England's brightest spark for most of the game, for much of the time. With Saka again, White can play it to Saka. Prolific goal! Big moments, call for big names. Bukayo Saka gets his 20th goal of the season.
In Arteta's 6 years, Bukayo Saka has transformed from a left back to a fearsome attacking line. Gabriel Martinelli is the only other player from the 2019 Arsenal squad who has remained at the club. Since then, we have finished changing things under the leadership of Mikel Arteta. The team building was not easy. It had its ups and downs. It had to be tested. The team that Mikel Arteta built with great patience also had to take risks, including making tough decisions on the team's most talented and important players, Mesut Ozil and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, when he came straight to North London and played in empty stadiums during the COVID era. In order to bring discipline to the club, the players he sacrificed put Arteta under pressure. He also received a lot of criticism for trying to convince people that players like Aaron Ramsdale, Kai Havertz, David Raya, and Ben White were a good fit for Arsenal. He did not give in to the criticism. He did not give in to the emotional breakdowns, to the trophy competitions that were about to slip through his fingers due to successive defeats. He did not stop at the criticism that Arsenal under Arteta would be a team that follows, not a team that arrives. Yes, he said, I learned from every season I look for my starting point from every fall. He has returned with a team that has a strong foundation again. Arteta is moving towards his 300th game with a team of many leading players, young but mature fighters, strong stars united as a team. In the list of Arsenal's all-time most winning coaches, Mikel Arteta is in 7th place. He is freely named, winning more than Herbert Chapman, who revived the club in Arsenal's history before Emery. So far, he has won 176 games out of 299 games. He has lost in 59 games. They have drawn in 64. But more than the number of wins, Mikel Arteta has done an incredible job of completely changing Arsenal, which cannot be expressed in numbers. At one time, he restored the faith that the team lost every time they played. He has made the fans turn their faces completely to the club. He has made the Emirates Arsenal symbol, the Gunners, proudly and confidently called in this era. Mikel Arteta has made it possible for the club to be a feared club that not only the club's fans, but even the opponents nominate for the title without any doubt as the season changes. This is Mikel Arteta's success story that numbers cannot describe. That is Arteta's biggest challenge question. The team has come of age, depth, including unpredictability. This will be concluded in the championship. It is the eager question of the fans of the great club. 6 years ago, in December 2019, Arsenal took what was called a very dangerous decision, a course of action that could be costly. They believed in Mikel Arteta, who had never led a single game as head coach, more than in leaders who had been tested in practice. 6 years forward, Arsenal has not won the Premier League championship that has stood for 21 years since the Invincibles era, as the opposing fans say, bearing the fruit of the seed that Arteta's transformation work has sown.
He's an incredible person, incredible human being, with incredible values about what it means the locker room and to be together. And he is already an incredible manager. He will have incredible success in his future.
Arsenal has not achieved the Champions League success that it says it has equal to other great clubs. But Mikel Arteta's success, which Arsenal's numbers and trophies cannot describe, does not obscure another success. Arsenal has become a winning, fearsome team. A team that has restored lost faith has come. The lost fans have been renewed. Arsenal is among the fearsome teams in England and Europe.
It's Rice. What a goal! Declan Rice with an absolute rocket with
He came empty-handed. Now he has proven that he is one of the best coaches in the world. He has returned Arsenal, which was full of crisis, to stability. He is steadily leading the club, which seemed to have lost its direction, to its destination. He has changed the bitterness of Emery into a song of victory every week. He has mixed many of the best stars into a fearsome team membership that plays with purpose. The leader who came in a controversial and cautious way has become Arsenal's special asset. All that remains is the longed-for championship. Arsenal fans are following Arteta, believing that there will be a response this year. Mikel Arteta is a trendsetter. How can you go into European comps from the manager? Everybody needs to go from top to bottom to the head and leaders.
Saved! The Retegi's there again, saved again! Oh, that's amazing! What a double save!
But it's Arsenal now breaking here. Trossard goes forward. Havertz! Out. It's very flat and all the way through. Arsenal have their second.
Martinelli collects it from Rice. Fury on the overlap, it's Martinelli, and it's in! A slice of fortune for the Brazilian. who shot.
One of which is Timber. Can he pick the right pass? Really inviting ball. And Arsenal have taken the lead. The final touch from Gabriel Martinelli. But this, in truth, was all about the delivery. Tomorrow evening, and indeed this evening. This is not bad here. Saka in behind, rolls it across. And Arsenal score again. Saka, brilliant in the build-up play. A bit of movement in towards that 6-yard box. In towards Gabriel. He was the runner. He wasn't picked up, but it is 3-0.
Composure from Lewis Skelly under pressure, and a good ball at the end of it to Jesus. Into Saka. 1-0. Havertz looking to get there, and he did, and then Saka! Well, that should do it. To lift it in, Mikel Moreno coming onto it. It's going to fall for Bukayo Saka, and it's gone in off Kai Havertz. Giving Rostovski a difficult time, and a possibility straight away. And an extraordinary start for Arsenal. Martinelli. This ball in's a good one towards Havertz! Who scores? Waneri trying that with the left foot. Oh, what a cracking hit! And it's tucked goalwards by Ethan Waneri. Onwards, really dominated.
And striding into a gap is the captain, Martin Ødegaard. It's a half dozen for a side that are showing no half measures and are more than halfway towards a Champions League quarter-final.
Zinchenko looking to drive on here. Oh! Fantastic strike there, and doesn't really celebrate again.
Only 3 in the wall, Rice goes round it! Lewis Skelly. It's through! It's Mikel Marino! Arsenal have 15 minutes against Real Madrid! Gets it back again from Declan Rice. Marino, and it goes to Bukayo Saka. Lifts it over the goalkeeper and scores! Arsenal heading to the semi-finals of the Champions League, and cue the delirium among the Arsenal. Arsenal sail through to the semi-final in style.